This is Lieutenant Colonel Evans, transportation officer in charge. Sir, for such a busy seaport, you're quite a ways from the open sea, aren't you?
Well, we're not too far. It's a distance from Seattle Port to Cape Flattery of 113 miles. Cape Flattery is the northwestmost point in the United States. Actually, ships proceeding from here go 67 miles to Port Angeles, and then they're in international waters.
And then on out into Pacific.
Right, from Port Angeles on out past Cape Flattery, then they're in the open sea.
This is more or less the gateway to the east. Is that correct?
Yes, actually, this port is the main shipping port, the primary port for Alaska. This port is also the closest port to the Orient.
And that reminds me, sir, of our next stop and our last stop in the big picture, the Army Language School.
The Army Language School. Well, that ought to be very interesting.
We sure enjoyed this visit, too. Thank you very much.
Fine. Thank you.
A quick trip south to the Presidio of Monterey in California and the Army Language School. Our guide is Colonel Douglas B. Smith, Director of Training.
Welcome to the Army Language School. I'd like to show you some of the teaching techniques we use to give our students a practical command of a foreign language that will help them to do their jobs better. Let's start with the beginning of our course, Phase 1. Hako, 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 hako. Here's the Japanese class in Phase 1. Phase 1 is designed to give the student a basic command of pronunciation using the most common everyday situation. This is Phase 2 of our course. Phase 2 is concerned with the structure of the language. In this phase, we practice speech patterns. Oral drills are usually the course, and we stress in these drills the use of objects which the students can see and handle, as you see here. Go ahead with your drill.
That's correct. Last ما كو شباب بيك حول البيت للمحافظة. نعم أشكرك. أكو تلفونات في البيوت؟
نعم على ميز يمرفع في التلفون.
That's a very good exercise, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
بعد أسئلة؟
نعم أكو كهرباء في البيوت العربية عادة.
Der Angriff ist für morgen auf 4:30 Uhr angesetzt.
Wie ist die militärische Lage?
Meine Truppen haben bei...
Guten Tag, meine Herren. Was tun Sie hier?
Wir besprechen eine taktische Aufgabe am Sandkasten, Herr Oberst.
Sehr gut. Fahren Sie fort.
Was hatten Sie gefragt, Herr Oberst?
Ich habe gefragt, wie ist die militärische Lage?
Meine Truppen haben bei zunehmendem Feindwiderstand heute die Linie XX erreicht. Meine Panzer befinden sich im Bereitstellungsraum südlich des Baches L.
One moment. This is Phase 3 of our instruction. In this phase, we expand vocabulary, particularly military vocabulary, and ingrain still further correct speech habits that we've already started. We use many varieties of oral drills, such as discussions of military situations, simulating actual conditions as they occur in the field, interrogation of prisoners, and a practical exercise such as the one you see here. Fahren Sie fort.
Wie gedenken Sie, den Angriff zu führen?
Nach kurzer Artillerievorbereitung brechen breit entfaltet unsere Panzer in den feindlichen Linien ein.
Dankeschön, meine Herren. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen, Herr Officer. Wo wird der Schwerpunkt des Angriffs liegen?
Auf der Straße nach Adolf.
Let's take a look at this map. Here are free nations all over the world whose problems and whose peoples we must understand. We feel that the best way of achieving cooperation and understanding is through our ability to speak their languages. Our students are imbued with this idea, and when they leave here, they feel that they're much better qualified to do their jobs.
The big picture hopes that you have enjoyed these tours of the 6 Army commands within the United States, and that the panorama offered has shown you not only the activities of the Army throughout the land today, but also the spirit that inspires these men with a mission.
That's the story of 6th Army, the last of our great continental units to be surveyed in this special series by the Big Picture camera. If you followed these first-person reports week by week, you've seen and heard the leaders of our great force in the zone of interior. You've learned their missions and seen how they are being fulfilled. Men and women of the United States Army, ever vigilant to keep our defenses strong. This is Sergeant Stuart Queen, inviting you to tune in next week for another look at your Army in action on The Big Picture.
The Big Picture is a weekly television report to the nation on the activities of the Army at home and overseas. Produced by the Signal Corps Pictorial Center. Presented by the U.S. Army in cooperation with this station. You can be an important part of the Big Picture. You can proudly serve with the best equipped, the best trained, the best fighting team in the world today, the United States Army.